Hey, 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 Nicole Roberts Jones here, and welcome to this episode of the Meaningful Work Podcast. You got to know, listen, I think I sound excited every week, and I am excited every week, but I'm going to tell you right now, get your pen out and get ready because there are areas of your mindset that are holding you back and you don't even realize it. Our guest this week is going to give you some great insight tools so that you understand a whole new level of aligning your spirituality with your work. And her name is Dr. Cheryl P. Williamson. Now, she's a global media executive, a transformational speaker, and a multi best-selling author, making a profound impact across industries. Listen, if that wasn't enough, she's an award-winning filmmaker and executive producer. She's also a published author with Penguin Random House. Now, mind you, I'll probably say this later, but she's published 19 books. I think I'm saying that number right. And she's a sought after voice. She recently even shared a panel with Michelle Obama. As a global ambassador for She Empowerment Global, she empowers women worldwide, speaking at prestigious events and leading workshops for her brand, or for major brands, I should say. Now, Dr. Cheryl has authored 19 books. I said this a few minutes ago, and some of them include The Art of Influence and one of my favorites, Affirmed. She has a part one and a part two. You probably have a three and a four, girl. I can't keep up, right? And she serves as editor in chief of Cheryl Magazine. Through her companies and her nonprofit, she's committed to empowering individuals. And again, if that wasn't enough, she also was recently appointed the dean of Trinity International University of Ambassadors. See, she's dedicated to developing future leaders worldwide. So, y'all help me welcome Dr. Cheryl. Hey, girl.
Hello, how are you, beautiful?
I'm great.
Happy day to you.
Girl, I'm always excited when I get to talk to you. Always excited because I know it's going to be so good. So,
Yay!
let's just jump in because I want to make sure that we can get as much as we can of Dr. Cheryl. So tell me a little bit, how did you get into this whole mindsets? Well, let's talk about what it means to be affirmed. I love
Okay.
that that's your platform. She does way more than that. But let's talk about affirmed and why mindset matters.
If, being affirmed within yourself and having the right mindset is absolutely critical, because when you do that, then people can't talk you out of your dreams and your hopes and your plans, because you believe them. When the world is telling you no, you're able to tell yourself yes. So I truly believe in waking up every morning, speaking affirmations over my life. I receive preferential treatment. I receive God inspired ideas that produce millions of dollars, because when the world is trying to knock me down, when I am affirmed in my mind about who I am and whose I am, there's nothing that anybody can do to stop me. And when you become unstoppable, then you want to help other people do the same thing.
That's so good. And I want you guys to get this is bigger than a vision board. Vision boards are great, don't get me wrong,
Yes,
but it's bigger than just manifesting, right? As a God's girl, because I know Dr. Cheryl's God's girl, right? So, as a God's girl, this is about you really naming and claiming what God has already said is available to you. But it's almost like you're reminding yourself every day, and so that you can get back into your power, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. I want to be everything that he wants me to be. So whatever I'm thinking, I always multiply it. And the
Mm,
reason I say multiply is because while we're adding, God is already multiplying. When we say we want one opportunity, he's already opened the door to 10. So for me, I've mastered the power, not just of my mindset, but of my mouth.
mm.
Because I realize that whatever is in my mind that will come out of my mouth is what will manifest in my life. So if I focus on illness, or if I focus on lack or being jealous or envious or any of those things, those opportunities is what will manifest in my life. There will not be enough resources. So once I mastered that, that's why when people ask me, were you surprised when that happened? Absolutely not, because I've already written it down. Things that I saw 20 years ago. In fact, I'll share with you, Nicole, my email address from the very, whenever email started, my email address was drcwilliamson66 at gmail.com.
Mm.
People would say, "Oh, are you a doctor?" I said, "Not yet." So it took me 23 years, but now I'm Dr. Cheryl P. Williamson.
Hello.
That important because it didn't matter to me that people were laughing because that was my email address. I knew if I saw it, I was going to continue to pursue it so it would manifest and be real. And the same thing when you asked me about, well, you didn't ask me, you actually read it in the bio, but I want people to understand how manifestation and believing that something is possible. So when you said sat on the panel with Michelle Obama, she had been on my vision board and I wrote it down every single day from the moment that they went into the White House. That
Mm.
I was going to work with her. I was going to be a part of something that she did. And it didn't happen while she was in the White House, but I kept her up on my board. I kept believing it. Now, fast forward, The Light We Carry comes out. She has over 50 million people that follow her. I was blessed to be in connection and relationship with someone who was a part of the project and selecting people and picking the right people. And so they started watching my social media page. So I was chosen from 50 million people. Seven women were selected to sit on this panel with Michelle Obama. So of course I cried because I knew that that could have only been through God
Yeah.
and the manifestation of my mouth, my mind, and my vision board.
So good, so good. I think so many people don't realize. Okay, a couple things came in my jumped in my spirit when you said that.
Okay.
Number one, Bible verse that many of us know, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain.
Very.
Listen, but here's the part we don't really ever say, that he may run that readeth. Now go read the Bible verse. I might be saying it wrong, y'all, but it's something like that. Okay. So what's interesting is when God gives us a vision, and I need y'all to get this because she said this, but I really want you to get this. My pastor calls it having puzzle pieces. So if you
Yeah.
guys, if I had a puzzle, if I knew you were gonna say this, I would have had a puzzle in here so I could act it out. But so if I had a puzzle, and you guys know, those of you that did puzzles when you were little, I used to hate puzzles, by the way, but anyway, that you got to find the right piece to go with the right piece. And what happens is God gives you a puzzle piece. He's not going to tell you when the next puzzle piece is going to come, but you got to speak. I'm going to get there. Don't know how it's going to happen. Don't know what God is doing, but I'm trusting him and I'm speaking to the puzzle piece I have. So then the next puzzle piece comes and the next one, but it comes as you move and you're running toward the vision. What I love about what you said is that you wrote it down. It's one thing for you to go, oh, I know I'm supposed to be there. When you start second guessing yourself, that's the enemy trying to make you forget who you
Yes.
are.
Yes.
So when you write it down, it reminds you of what God dropped in your spirit.
Yes.
So
That
good.
that is very true. And a lot of us, if it doesn't happen within a short span of time, then we give up on it. And I will tell you, that's where it's totally wrong.
Mm,
I remember going to the Black Enterprise Women Summit in 2008, and I promised myself that I would go back because I went as a guest. And I promised myself in 2008 that I would go back owning my own company, paying my own way.
mm.
I didn't go back until 2018. It took 10 years for that to manifest. So I went back in 2018 owning two companies. I went back on my own dime and then the vision got bigger. I said, "Oh, I need to be if they're on the stage and God did that for them, they'll do that for me." So then from 2018 to 2023, in 2023, I went back to the Black Enterprise Women of Power Summit speaking on the stage.
Hello.
So it's about your mindset being your superpower. And for me, my mindset truly is my superpower. So whatever is in my mind, I expect it to happen in my life. I don't second guess it. I don't check with people, Nicole. I never get a second from man on something that God told me to do.
Whew, wait a minute, stop, because you said, let me say, I can't write fast enough. She said, I don't ever get a second. I want y'all to get this. You don't need to move or second, y'all that know Robert's Rules of Order, right? Something that God has already told her. She don't need a second. Ooh, that's so
Absolutely.
good.
And a lot of people, I'll tell you, Nicole, they never achieve their dreams because they are waiting on everybody to check off on the facilitation.
Ooh,
It's like, well, what do you think about it? Do you think I should do it? And most people ask the wrong people. They ask people who are not even following their own dreams. So they're not going to help you facilitate your dreams because they're still in a sleep state on their own.
mm.
So for me, I don't check with anybody. It's like if God says, "Oh, write this book, go pursue this thing," I do it and I don't ask anybody. I don't get a second. I don't try to figure it out because this I
Right.
do know vision, decision, provision. If
Mm.
God gives me the vision and I make the decision to follow him, then he's going to bring the provision and I don't have to worry about it.
Ooh, by the way, y'all, if you see me looking down, those of you that are new, I'm writing notes because I learned too. Hello. Vision, decision, and provision. Now, the other thing you said a few minutes ago is your mindset is your superpower.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Sorry, did I interrupt you? Were you gonna say something
Oh
else?
no,
I
no,
got
I was
excited.
agreeing with you because I mean that without a shadow of a doubt. There is nothing that I cannot do. You're looking at somebody who is an HBO Max award-winning filmmaker that's never been to film school. I just
Hello.
believed that I could do it, and then the Lord said, "You got to go be a production assistant and learn before I give you a big project." And so that's what I did. But I didn't let people talk me out of it because, of
Right.
course, people were saying, "No, nobody's gonna let you on the set. You're a criminal justice pre-law major. You didn't have blah blah blah." So the thing is, for those who have dreams that that's not what your degree is in, or you've never done it before, just show up. And
Mm.
especially when God tells you to do something, if you show up, he'll cause people to bless you.
Ooh.
He'll cause people that don't even like you to bless you. And that happens to me so often. And I can tell by people's face, they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that this is who they had us reserving the seat for." I'm like, "Yes, it's me."
Because favor isn't fair.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And I don't run from God's favor. I
Right.
receive God's favor.
Girl, you gonna have me run around here and I'm trying to stay calm. So listen, let's talk about negative strongholds because so many people don't realize that their inability to believe in whatever God drops in your spirit. And by the way, he's never gonna drop anything in your spirit that he's not checking your bank account, he's not checking your degrees, he's not checking the people you know, he's not checking your resume,
Yeah.
he's not checking any of that. He's checking your faith.
Yes, he is.
So let's talk about how negative strongholds affect really women, because most of my listeners are women, and how they can begin to release these strongholds from keeping them from what God wants for them.
They have to see it in the affirmative. So, what
Mm.
do I mean by that? Instead of writing, "I will become debt free," you have to write, "I am debt free." You have to take it into your spirit. You have to believe it. You have to see it before you see it. You have to see that thing happening. You have to see yourself, whatever your ideal weight is, see yourself at that ideal weight. Stop seeing bills in the mail. So when you say, "Oh, I'm not going to the mail because I know it's bills." For me, I said, "Oh, I'm going to the mailbox because I know it's a lot of checks in there."
I know that's right.
Right? It's about saying that to yourself. You have to learn how to, on a daily basis, learn how to celebrate yourself. Wake up and look in the mirror and say, "I am beautiful. I am loved." Wrap your arms around yourself and say, "I love me some me." Because you have a lot of people who are saying, "I'm looking for love," but how will you know when you find it if you don't even love yourself?
Hello.
And that's just a matter of fact. "Oh, I want to be in love. I want to fall in love." And you ask people, "Well, how do you feel about yourself?" "Well, I'm overweight. I didn't finish school. I didn't do that." You're always negative about yourself. But if you ask you about somebody else, "Oh, that person is so great. Everything is going well for them." The
Right.
same beauty that you see in other people, you have to start seeing that in yourself. "Okay,
Yes.
I made some mistakes when I was young. I am a better person." Not I'm becoming a better person. I am a better person. I am making the steps, not I will make the steps. I am. It's about the affirmative. Will means you really don't care.
Mm.
You say, "I will this or that. I will get out of debt." That means you don't care when it happens. If you say, "I am debt free," that's the determination right there. I am debt free. Not "I will." Will is 10 years from now, 50 years
Right.
from now, but I'm going to go ahead and keep spending money in the process.
Now I remember somebody saying, "Don't say you're broke." I will say, "I don't have that in my budget right now." So I'm
Absolutely.
claiming never having it. I just don't have it right in this very moment. And who's to say that in the next 5 minutes I might not get it?
And that's the truth. And that ties to, like, when people ask us for something over and over and we say, "Oh, I don't have it." I'm with you. I never say it. I never say that. What I do say is, when someone asks, "Oh, could you give me $500?" I just say no. I don't get into, we've done this or that, because if you know you really don't want to do it, don't have people come back to you 6 months from now.
Ooh, okay, so you're just dropping all kind of nuggets. So let me ask you, you know, obviously your resilience muscle is strong and intact. So tell us about resilience. And if you had to give someone that's listening, because it's not that Cheryl hasn't gone through anything, right? We've
Right.
all listen. We ain't got enough time to talk about all the things we've both been through. Okay, so
Absolutely.
let's talk a little bit about the power of resilience and how you've seen that come into play with your ability to be affirmed.
I am smiling because this is like, uh the question that I get all the time, and you might laugh when I say this. One of the things in this climate that we're in right now of social media is my block and delete game is tight. My
Hello.
block and delete game is so tight. I don't respond to people's negativity it through any means, through inbox, through TikTok. I don't even respond. When people say things, I just let it go, because my thing is I keep my spirit so high that people's offenses cannot reach me. And the
Mm,
reason that I do that is because I realize that my time here is finite. So I don't have time to deal with people, places, and things that are not even tied to my destiny.
ooh, tell you
So
this
when
good
I
dropping,
look at it, right,
mm,
we
dropping
can't
nuggets. Hmm.
waste time answering negativity. So my resilience comes from one, like I said, the block and delete. Number three, number one, block and delete. Number two is about keeping my spirit high. I don't match energy. I make people come up to meet my
Come
energy.
on, come on.
So when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm giving them the same energy," I'm not even thinking about those people.
Mm-mm.
I'm not even going to make people think that they have that much uh, blood
Power over.
with a
Mm,
power over my life that they can alter my mood. Because
right.
once people know that they can alter your mood, you will have certain people who will go out of their way, especially, oh, she has a speaking engagement coming up. Let me post something nasty. Or she
Mm,
has, I mean, let me show up and say such and such. You can't give people that type of power over you. It's
right.
like when we hear people say, oh, I use my haters as my motivators. I don't use them as anything,
Mm, I know that's right.
nothing. And so the resilience comes from that. And most of all, it's from knowing the power of the Lord.
Mm,
What I do is when bad things happen, I write people's name down. I say, God, I need you to handle these, and I write their name down. So for those of who may listen, if you know you have personally done something to me and you're wondering when I'm gonna pay you back, I'm not, because I've already written your name down and God will handle that.
I
And
know that's right.
that out there because people often ask me, how do you deal with these people that say all of this stuff? I'm like, sweetie, that person is on a list, and that's between them and God, not me. And that's between God and them, and my relationship is between me and him.
I know that's right. So good. Woo, you're dropping nuggets. So you said something a minute ago. By the way, when Periscope was out, y'all remember Periscope aging
Yeah.
myself, social media aging myself. I used to call it block ministry because I would
Oh yeah.
block people would say they'd say something crazy or be talking, some guy would say, "Ooh, you cute." That ain't while I'm on here, block ministry, right?
Yes.
And people would laugh at me, but here's what I know for sure. What you do is you create a safe space, not just for you, but anybody that's around you, anybody that goes to your events, and we'll talk about other things she does. Anybody that is reading your magazine, any of those things, it's a safe space because she creates a safe space for herself first.
Yes.
And if you let negative in, what happens is it begins to spread like a cancer. You think, oh, it's a little thing that's not going to bother you. But then somebody else says something that adds to it. Somebody else says something that adds to it. And then before you know it, you're second guessing yourself when you weren't second guessing yourself at all before. It was because you allowed somebody to say something or do something that made you shift how you feel about yourself.
Absolutely. And the only thing that I want to shift is the atmosphere when I walk in.
This girl right here. So listen, the thing that what just dropped in my spirit was, many of you that are listening, and this has happened to me. I remember I had this boss at my job that was hating on me. And this is, by the way, I was building my business at the same time, and he knew it. I didn't hide it. And so there were certain days that this was way before COVID. This was like in 2007. It's a long time ago.
Okay.
And I was working hybrid before there was a such thing because that's what the role called for. And so I'm sharing this with you because he would always try to find ways to make me work on Fridays. And I didn't work on Fridays because I would travel on Fridays. And so I never went off or yelled, or I would say, I can't meet Friday, but I can meet on Monday. I can't meet Friday, I can meet on Tuesday. I would just friendly edit and never even entertain what and he would have a fit, yelled. I'd sit there silent, wait for him to finish and say, so did you want to find an alternate time? Because I'm not going to shift my Friday just because you are trying to make me work on a day that you know I speak half the time. Right. And I'm sharing that with you because I had to make a choice.
Yes.
Do I allow him to infiltrate my spirit and make me funky and mad every time I got to go meet with him? Because that was what would happen. Or do I release it and stay calm and make a different choice? I'm only sharing that with you because listen, y'all, 6 months in, he got fired.
Oh, see, he was on your list. You didn't even know.
And that's how funny is I make a list in my journal. I never even called it that. Now you're gonna have me calling and making a list. When somebody
Yes.
does me wrong, I'm trying my hardest. Listen, I'm from South Central LA. So let me tell you, that comes up first. I'm gonna be honest. So I
Yes.
have to choose a different choice and get into my little prayer corner and
Oh, yeah.
release the part of me that wants to go off and yell and all the things. Cause I'm gonna be honest, that comes up.
Absolutely, it does. I think that comes up with any of us, whether you love God, or you want to be a decent person. Because I remember somebody asked me this, and as a matter of fact, it was me and B Simone, and I didn't know what she was going to say, so I answered the question, and I said, "Now don't get it twisted. Just because I love God, you're not going to talk to me crazy." And I told them that doesn't mean that I'm gonna curse you out, but you're going on my list.
Okay, girl. Okay, so listen, there's so many places. I'm looking at my notes because it's so good. I got a page of notes already, y'all. So let's before I want to talk about your magazine, but before we go into that, let's talk a little bit. I think you've given some nuggets, but I want to make sure if there's anything else the listeners should know about when we look at cultivating the affirmed mindset. Now, by the way, she has a book. I'll put it in the show notes called Affirmed. Great daily affirmations that'll get you started. Those of you that need that help. And so talk about that. And then if there's anything, a
Okay,
roadmap or anything that you can
so
share with them.
Nicole, from a roadmap perspective, what people need to do is get them a journal book, something, not the phone. And I want to tell people why. The phone is not good because somebody's going to text you, call you, or email you. So you're not going to continue down your path of pouring into yourself. So you need to get up out of your bed, come to your quiet space, get your journal book, and begin to write out what you want to see happen in your life. Date it. Because when you start seeing those miracles and things happen, and you go back to 2022 when you wrote on 3/21/2022, and now it is 3/31/2025, and you see it manifest, you know that your words have power.
Mm.
Your writing has power.
Oh, okay, so let me share a story before you say the second one. Look,
Okay.
I got a personal story on that. So listen, y'all. So many of you guys know that are listening that I lived in Boston for 15 years. And in 2021, I moved to DC. But here's the deep thing, Cheryl. I don't even know if I've told you this story. So in 2020, the day before COVID, I was here in Virginia, which is where I live, like literally 10 minutes from my house, keynote speaker at an event. I finished speaking. A woman comes up to me at that event and she says, where do you live? And I said, Boston. And she said, oh, but you're always up here. And I said back to her, well, I feel tied to the DMV. And she says back to me, and I quote, maybe God is trying to prepare us so that we're ready when you move here. And I looked at her and she looked at me and I said, oh, I felt that. So listen, y'all, when I got home, I printed out a picture of the DMV, cut it out, pasted it in my journal, in my prayer book, and said, God, whatever this is, I need you to do it.
Yes.
And I said, I'm not saying anything to Daryl, my husband. I'm not saying anything to anybody. That was March 2020. January 2021, wheels started turning. And to make a long story short, his company bought a business in Sterling,
And I
Virginia.
know where Sterling is because I used to
Right.
live in South Riding.
So literally it just, and I didn't do a thing
You didn't
but
have
trust God and put it in my prayer book and said, listen, God, I'm tired of feeling like this. This is a true conversation I had with him. So I need you to do something. So I'm gonna put this in this book. I'm gonna circle it and I'm just gonna wait for you to move.
And I have to tell you, that was step two. When I said writing, then you cut out the pictures and you can put them in the book or you can put them on a vision board and put them up on your wall. And that's where I had Michelle Obama. That's where I had Speak Globally. That's where I had Go to Africa, books, book deal, NAACP image, all of those things. I
Mm.
wrote it, I cut it out, and I put it up. And I'm looking this way because I have vision boards all around my office. But that's what you have to do. And those are just two of the nuggets that I want to share. You have to write it, you have to see it before you see it, you have to speak it. You have to speak it as if it's so. Oh God, I thank you for my first class ticket. Oh God, I thank you for living debt free. I thank you for my 850 credit score. I thank you for healing my body. Whatever that is, you speak it, you see it, you write it. Those are the three nuggets, and you will begin to, and I'm going to use the word will in this instance because you can't use I am, see is. You will begin to see it manifest in your life. But it starts with you believing it. So people speaking it over you, you believed it for yourself, Nicole. She said it, but you
Mm-hmm.
took it a step farther and you wrote it, you cut it out, and you gave it to God. And
Mm-hmm.
now here you are sitting in a vision that you put before the Lord, didn't know how it was going to happen. You didn't try to make it happen. You just trusted him and knew that he would make it happen in his time and in his way.
And even with that, y'all. So, and then we're gonna change, and I want to talk about your magazine. But the funny part is when Daryl started talking about the move, and he said, "Well, what do you think?" I went and got my prayer journal and showed him. I started laughing first. He said, "What's so funny? Why are you so laughing? Why is it so funny to you?" Because my husband didn't want to move at first, right?
Right.
So then I went and got my prayer journal and showed him. He said, "Oh, so you did this?" And then we both started laughing, right? I said, "No, God did it." I just said, if it's you, I need you to do something. And sure enough, and so
Absolutely.
it was, we both got a good laugh out of that. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about. I am going to put affirmed, by the way, in the show notes. So those of you that want to get a book that's really going to bless your life and help you start this, if you haven't been doing affirmations, you haven't been journaling, and you need a jump start, get the book. Cheryl Magazine. Tell us a little bit about Cheryl Magazine.
Sure. So Cheryl Magazine ties directly into our conversation. It started off as an 11-page newsletter that went out. I got accepted into the Goldman Sachs Small Business 10,000 Small Business Program, and they asked me, "What is your stretch goal?" And I said, "I'm going to turn this 11-page newsletter into a full-fledged digital and print magazine." So that's what I did. It is now going into its fourth year. We've had Tabitha Brown on the cover, Niecy Nash, Alexis Carr, St. Marshall, Danette Anthony Reed, the president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And our current issue, we have, for the first time, Nicole, we have 5 women on the cover. We've only usually done one, but the Lord laid it in my heart after I signed my book deal through Penguin Random House and Storehouse Voices. I wanted to do a Women in Words issue. So the current issue that I have, it has the publisher, the co-assistant publisher, the executive publisher, and the editor, the director of editing on the cover, as well as myself, because I was the first one to get a book deal with the Storehouse Voices label. So they're on the cover of the magazine, and I'm super excited because it is my 85 to 100 page love letter to women.
Mm.
It is full color. It comes in its own plastic covering because I don't like wrinkled pages. And people are it, loving it, loving it, loving it because they can see themselves in every page. We don't do any gossip or negativity. It's about health and finances and travel and maybe women who had daddy's issues. We have a specific area that deals with daddy's issues, travel, arts. And then we usually have 5 feature stories. We have women from all different industries. We're not celebrity focused. While I have had some celebrities on the cover, every issue is never going to have a celebrity on it because Cheryl Magazine is inspiration for the everyday woman.
So good. And what is so missing out in these social media, even dare I say Essence, which used to be a whole magazine, is like a little pamphlet now. That's how I feel. Sorry, Essence, not trying to be dissing you, but it is, right? And the empowerment that we used to get is not the same. And so I'm so glad that you are standing in the gap. Those of you that are listening and you don't see on the screen, you go to CherylMagazine.com, subscribe, and get empowered from this beautiful love letter in beautiful, visual form. So
Yeah.
thank you for all of that, Cheryl. So as we close, listen, I can't believe time is up. We had some good conversation. Told you
Yes,
I can
we
talk to her.
did.
I can talk to you for the next 2 hours. So is there anything that you didn't get to say that you want to leave the listeners with?
Absolutely. So, Nicole, I want to close by saying this to you. Thank you for seeing me. I
Mm,
appreciate you so much. You could have had anybody on the show. And the reason that I want to specifically say this, because this has been one of my affirmations. It says, I am on radio, TV, and film. And
mm.
the reason that that's been my affirmation is because the Lord laid it on my heart and told me specifically. I didn't have to, oh, is this you, Lord? He said it. He told me that he is going to use my voice to speak to millions, to bring them to the knowledge of who he is. And I don't have to beat people over the head. I don't have to give people a scripture every other word. He said, I'm going to use your voice in the way that you live your life and how you treat people to bring people closer to me. So, Nicole, I thank you for allowing me to use my voice to be amplified through the meaningful work. I appreciate you. I see you. You matter to me, and your contribution to helping me fulfill what God has purposed me to do. I will not forget that. I honor you, my sister, and I value who you are and what you contribute to this world.
Girl, you gonna make me cry, so I honor you. And here's the thing you have to know, we are sisters in the journey.
Amen.
All of us are called, but there are few soldiers that are out there, and I consider you what, soldier, general. Listen, I've never been in the army, so whatever, whichever one's higher rank, because I'm not out of my own fish out of water, not knowing, but I'm glad to be in the race with you. So
Yeah.
thank you for all you do. Thank you for being a light, for being a trailblazer, for being a front runner, for all of us to see what it looks like when you are unapologetically sure of who God created you to be. And thank
Amen.
you for joining us for this
Thank
episode. I appreciate you, girl. So, with that said, y'all, thank you for joining us for another episode. Ooh, so good. I have pages of notes. So, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Number one, if you haven't done it already, I want you to share your top takeaways from this episode. Number one. Number two, I want you to also share the episode. So, if you're on YouTube, grab the link, share it, text it, tweet it, put it on Facebook, put it everywhere. And allow others to understand what it looks like to live an affirmed life, how your mindset matters, and a woman that's showing us the way. All right. So, again, thank you for joining us for this episode. I'll see you next time on the Meaningful Work Podcast.